Welcome to SFA News. I'm your anchorman, Horrell.
And your senior news correspondent, Eric Gonzalez.
And today we'll be informing you of how South Korea is facing climate change.
I know what you might be thinking. What is climate change? Climate change, also known as global warming, is the rise in average temperatures of Earth's atmosphere and oceans. Evidence for global warming includes rising sea levels and global temperatures, shrinking ice in polar regions such as Antarctica, and decreased snow coverage around the world. South Korea is experiencing these effects as a result of domestic emissions as well as from emissions from neighboring China.
It released 11.6 metric tons of CO2 per capita in 2013, according to climateactiontracker.org. To give you something to compare that to, the U.S. released 16.4 metric tons of CO2 per capita in the same year. Hyundai Motor Company seems to be the worst offender, as it has a history of understating their greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Washington Post. In 2014, they received a $100 million fine for its violation of the Federal Clean Air Act. South Korea isn't really a major contributor to climate change, but they certainly could do better. At least they're not China, who's managed to have such terrible pollution levels it's affecting Korea's air quality. South Korea has implemented the Green Growth Act, with which their goals are to promote eco-friendly engines, improve the people's quality of life, and contribute to the international effort to fight climate change. For Bill Nye.
For South Korea, rising sea levels could result in huge economic losses, including loss of fisheries, loss in agricultural and residential land, and loss in water resources. The rest of the world could also experience these losses, but Korea is especially vulnerable because they are on a peninsula and surrounded by water. Going forward, South Korea can decrease current coal emissions, and turn to cleaner sources of energy to decrease waste products.
The Korean government plans to level off their annual growth in emissions from 4% to 0.3%. They plan on spending a total of 2% of their GDP on green growth projects. They plan to become the leading exporter of green research and technology, and they have already put forth an equivalent to 30.7 USD on their project.
Okay. CO2 emissions can contribute to climate change. Even a 1 or 2 degree increase in temperatures could cause land losses due to rising sea levels, environmental changes, and possible growing season changes, impacting economies around the world. CO2 can also impact human health, including the heart and respiratory system, causing health complications later on in life.
Alright. Now that you've heard us speak, now we have a quote from you from one of the most important people of our time, Bill Nye, the Science Guy. He has an important message to share, and we have a quote, and here it is. Burning carbon-based substances like oil, gas, and especially coal produces billions of tons of extra carbon dioxide each year. Methane gas from cows and pigs and other animals on our large farms end up in the atmosphere as well, trapping more of the sun's energy as heat. Bill Nye. I hope you enjoyed our, this is the end of Stephen F. Austin News.
And I'm Eric Gonzalez, your senior news correspondent.
Have a good evening.